So I have 4 years of experience in the SAP MM. So currently I want to means currently I am not working in anywhere due to personal reason. This this from the past 6 months I am not working.
Okay.
So I am looking for some change to. So I want to some exposure in the EWM in the project side. How the business.
I want to understand the real-time projects.
Okay. Fine. Yes, Siddiq.
Yes.
Yeah, please. Siddiq. Yeah.
Hi, I'm a WMS consultant. Um, I'm on Manhattan currently. I worked on other WMSs like Info, Microlistics, and SAP EWM. Um, I want to learn about the EWM part. The other thing is, I also want to know the different ways of implementing. For example, if it's um, 3PL customer, how will the implementation be? And if it's a manufacturing customer and or a retailer or an e-commerce kind of a customer, how the implementation will be. So these sort of implementations, I'm just really interested in. I want to know
Okay. You're into which
how
module?
different.
You're into which module?
Um, so I work in other WMSs, and I have worked on SAP WM
Okay.
as a key user, kind of between key user and a support.
Okay.
So I currently I'm an implementation consultant for other WMSs, but I want to know from the SAP point of view, EWM, and also the different kind of businesses how the implementations will be
Sure, sure.
according to their business process.
Sure, Siddiq, we'll discuss. Yeah. Hi, Soumya.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, Soumya. So just tell about yourself quickly.
So, hi everyone, I am Sumeran. I have worked on SAP MM, WM, and currently I am working in EWM. But my experience is only in support project, not in any kind of implementation or end-to-end project. So I joined in this session to learn about the implementation one. I mean implementation things I want to learn. That's why I joined. That's all.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, hi, Tarun. Just could you just tell about yourself? Tarun Shivakumar. Okay. He is not.
Hello, this is Indra Prakash Gurumurthy.
Yes.
Yeah, I had a issue with my mic. So, I'm into automotive domain, and I'm looking for a domain change. So, I'm new to SAP EWM.
Okay.
So I've been, yeah, I want to.
You want to start in EWM or you want to start any other logistics module like
No, I want to start in EWM.
Okay. Okay. Indra Prakash.
Okay.
Yes. Vinod Patil.
Yeah, hi Renush. So my name is Vinod Patil. So I am a SAP MM consultant. I am new for this EWM concept. So I am just checking what are the opportunity available in this field.
Okay, great. So do you know anything about any configurations or business process about EWM?
Yeah. Not about EWM, but for SAP MM and SAP Ariba, SAP Fieldglass, SAP CIB, I know.
Okay. Okay, Vinod. Thank you.
Yeah.
I think BB. So could you just tell about yourself? Abhi Ryan. Hi, Abhi. Could you just tell about yourself? Okay, so most of them not mute. Okay. So I'm just going to you know share the demo session. I mean, share my screen. So I think I have mentioned the details. Okay, so I think your name, your module, and your mobile number, I think. So could you please update so that we can be in touch with you? So I think some of them updated. So whoever is missing in the chat box, so just mention your name, your module. So yeah, so SAP EWM, this is most wanted, you know requirements in in SAP. So nowadays most of the companies they are implementing for EWM, and so especially for compare last 5 years, so there are so many opportunities in SAP EWM. Okay, so how we can able to update? So into your core module, suppose most of them they are into SAP MM, so they are into SAP WM, so they are into SAP, so some of them they are into WMS, which is not part of SAP, but still they wants to start their career into SAP WM. Okay, so here so yes, so definitely everyone can switch over into SAP EWM. So the prerequisites, so we should know all the business process. So how we can able to do the configurations. So that's the first steps. So that is the basic training. So most of the I think most of them already they attended the session. So so most of the configurations. So the second level is it's the implementation projects. Okay. So what is implementation projects? So most of them they are joined as SAP consultant. They knows about implementation project. What is the roles and responsibilities, right? So why this implementation project is really required? Yes, suppose you are into MM or WM, so you want to switch over into EWM, but still, even the same company we need to prove yes I have experience, or I am a certified consultant, or I know unique independently I can handle the projects, implementation projects. So otherwise it's very difficult, even though you are in IBM or in Accenture, so it's not easy to switch over from your core module like IMM, WM, right, or SD, right, into SAP WM. It's not possible. So definitely they will see, the person who have at least minimum 4 years experience, or who have already in end-to-end implementation project experience or certified consultant. So that is a prerequisites, switch over, right? So why we need to switch over into SAP EWM? So because this is the next generation, like so warehouse management so now completely the functionality is going to be removed, and the EWM is going to be it's a new role. So as I told you, so most of the companies so they are implementing EWM, especially for US or Europe, even in Gulf countries also, so they are implementing EWM. Okay.
Sir, you provide the recording?
Yes, we will share the recording.
Oh, okay, okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so now yeah, so because of these reasons, so we have SAP Jayavardhan. Okay, so guys who joined newly, please share your update your contact details in the chat box. Okay, yeah. Okay, so why? So I need to learn SAP EWM. I mean, switch over into SAP implementation projects, right? So SAP implementation projects, the role. So definitely we initially we started our career as a support consultant, so for all the module, right? So nobody is going to give you the opportunity to directly work into implementation, because that is a more challenging role, customer facing role, right? You have to handle the business team. So there are most challenging roles here, so you should know the complete business process so that you can able to give a solution, or you can able to present in such a way that the business team they will agree your solutions, right? So definitely this will take more time. So directly you cannot be able to switch over into SAP EWM consultant as an implementation consultant. Support is we can do, but as implementation point of view, it's quite challenging. Not only EWM, any module. So what we do, so this implementation project, how it is going to helpful to get a exposure in implementation, and directly you can get into SAP EWM, maybe any new company or the same company, how you can able to switch over into your core module into your SAP EWM module. Okay, so what is the prerequisites? So what we are going to do, so we are going to implement SAP EWM. So I'm just going to explain all the business process and everything. So here we talk about the activate methodology. So we are going to implement our activate methodology, right? So initially we have the preparation phase, right? So this preparation phase, so all so we are going to understand about the client business process. So before that we have talk about the org structure, right? So how many company codes they have, how many
So one question. So you will provide this Excel sheet also?
Yeah, if you want I will share, no problem.
Yeah, please. Okay.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, so here we initially the preparation phase we should make sure that what about that entity, right? How many company codes they have, how many business units, or the revenue generation point, like the sales area, or maybe the the purchase organization, or maybe the how many warehouse they have, right? So these are all the informations we need to be identified. So right, so then we have the kickoff meeting, right? So in this kickoff meeting, so we are going to meet with our business team, or we are going to meet with our IT team, and with the SAP implementation consulting team, right? With the project management organization, right? PMO team, right? So here we are going to make sure that, so who is the EWM consultant, or who is the business team, who is the purchase manager, or who is the warehouse manager, right? Who is the production in charge. So all the details, everything we are going to discuss during the kickoff meeting. So next we are going to finalize the scope document. Okay, what is the scope document? Scope document is, it's a complete business process about the EWM. Okay, so we are going to explain, so they are going to explain about all the business process, and we are going to make sure you understand the business process first, right? So this is almost looks like one of your business blueprint. So they are going to share your the scope document. As a EWM consultant, we need to understand each and every business process about org structure or master data or any kind of KDS point of view. So all the informations will be there, any workflow related informations or any gap analysis, all the informations will be there. So as a EWM consultant, so we need to understand the business process. So based on that, so we are going to design, right? Based on that, we are going to prepare our business process master list, right? So what is business process master list? So business process master list is which is going to identify the process list. Okay, so what all the process as a EWM process we are going to implement? So this is a high level, so we are going to maintain as a BPML. So this BPML process is more important. So based on this BPML process only, as a EWM consultant, we are going to do the business blueprint, right? So based on that, we are going to have the integrations also. Based on the BPML process, we have a integrations with the cross module like a MM or SD or PP or FICO. So we are going to do the integration with this cross module consultant, right? So once the BPML process is finalized, so then we are going to understand about the RICEF objects. So what are the RICEF objects? So we are going to design for the EWM module, right? So that is more important. So this is a high level. So the preparation phase, yes, we understand the scope document, we understand the org structure, we understand about the client, what are the process, what are the entity, how many warehouse which we are going to implement. So all the high level informations we are going to be finalized with the customer team. Okay, so next we are going to make sure about our explore phase. Okay, so this is more little crucial. So here we need to prepare the
Sorry, Dhanush, just to pause you for a minute. See, I just got this.
So we are going to so as a business blueprint phase, so what we are going to do in the business blueprint? So we are going to prepare the complete business process like a business flow diagrams for each and every business process. Okay, so the business flow diagram we are going to design, and we are going to design our SAP 2B process, and we are going to design about our roles and authorization. So which means like each and every process I'll going to show you how the BPML process, so how the the business blueprint, so that you will come to know how to design this business flow diagrams, right? Okay.
Dhanush, one question. I mean, we normally started with discovery, right? Before prepare, right? So there is discovery phase.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, so that is covered in the preparation, or discovery is a separate thing, right? Where you try to do what is currently visible in SCC and then try to make a strategy, whether it's brownfield or greenfield, what are the custom codes, what will be the standard in.
So then there is a yeah. So they explain about the supply chain unit. So these are all the the master data or architecture, all the business process. So we need to deliver in such a way that based on the scope document, as I told you initially. So we need to prepare the BPML document based on the scope document, right? So here we have to mention all the master data or business process or the integrations, right? So here we can see the yard management business process. So there is an inbound delivery. So what is the step by step? See, actually this is the standard we given, but when you are going to implement, maybe the customer, the client will be different, right? So if it is a pharmaceutical industry, the process will be different. So, but this is one of the standard BPML process template, which I'm going to discuss. Some of the process we are going to add it also, right? But this deliverable, this, the BPML process is more important, before you are going to start, your business blueprint. So there is outbound delivery process, and what is the physical inventory process, and material staging, right? So this is one of the templates. So this is not the finalized, but the existing project they have completed, their BPML in such a way that, so then there is a material receipt and the deconsolidation process or slotting process, right? So all the, even the RF framework or the internal process. So these are all the sample BPML process I'm just going to explain here. Okay, so now based on this, so we are going to, as I told you, so we have the roles, right? So this roles is nothing but the UAT, right? The user acceptance testing will be performed by the key user or the end user. So we need to perform the authorization role is one of the key deliverables. Okay. So then we have the detailed test planning we have discussed, right? So we have, so initially what we will do, so based on the process, BPML process as a EWM consultant, so we need to do the configuration, right? So we know initially, generally we have a three different box, right? So we have a development server or quality server and production server in the real time. So if it is in a support, so most of the case you will be working in a, production in the sense, right? Just for understanding the customer, they will share the screen, but if anything is required, so you will do the configuration or then you will do the testing in the quality server. So finally we'll move to the production system, right? But when it comes to the real time, as an implementation point of view, we have all the three servers, but initially production server will not be there. First we will have the development system. In the development system, what all the clients we have the golden configuration client, we have a golden development client, we have a testing client, right? Everything, these three will be in single box, we call it as a development server. Same way we have the quality server, it's in separate box. So we have a do all the kind of integration testing, right? So we are talking about the testing, right? So testing, once that is a unit testing is like a the generic process. So whatever process which I have shared in the BPML, so this is called generic EWM BPML business process. So these process, which is, suppose you have any kind of stock transfer process, right, between one plant to another plant. So here we need consultant, assistant is required. So where we can able to do the cross module testing. So we call it as a integration testing. But if you can able to do the generic process which is not related to the PM, production planning, or which is not related to the sales and distribution, so which is not related to FI. So your own module process, without finance point of view, so you can able to do the testing we called as a unit testing, right? So based on your BPML process. So after completion of your unit testing, so we'll go for the cross module testing. So that is more important, right? So cross module testing is a complete end-to-end cycles we are going to do the testings with a cross module consultant, right? So here all like a financially, whether the financial accounting entries or even the logistics point of view, like a procurement point of view or sales point of view or the production point of view, right? So how we are going to issue the goods to production. So in all the kind of business process has to be tested in the integration testing, right? So again we have to prepare the test scripts, the step-by-step business process we have to prepare as a EWM consultant. So based on that, so we need to test the process. Okay, So once the integration testing we have completed, right? So whatever process which I am going to explain, these are all the deliverables. So okay, these are all the deliverables. And one more thing, you guys are going to deliver. So this kind of deliverable you are going to deliver in this EWM project. So we are going to share that common template, or we are going to guide you how to prepare the KDS, or how to prepare the BPML, or how to prepare the roles and authorization, or how to prepare the test scripts, right? So these are all the templates we have to share, and we have to assist you regarding the the configuration or the process testing. So we are going to assist you, right? Yeah. So after completion of the testing, so before, as I told you, there is a user acceptance testing, right? So before user acceptance testing, so we have to train the user. So we are so here we have to train. We have to give a training to your end user. So how to create your master data. So how to create your the business process, right? So we need to give a training. So for that you have to prepare the user manual document. Okay, so we need to prepare the user manual document. So this user manual document is really helpful, because even though they are also new to SAP, right? So we are going to implement SAP. We have 10 years experience or 15 years experience, but they are into new. The screen, everything looks like new. So we need to prepare the user manual document, right? The step-by-step screenshot, and we have to mark, right? What is the step one? What we need to do? So what is the step number two? What we need to enter? So all that information you have to specify in the user manual document. Okay, so this is one of the key deliverable document. So we need to deliver before for user acceptance testing. Okay, so now this user acceptance testing will be happening in the quality system. So we talk about a development server. Yes, all the configuration, all the testings has been done, and integration testing and user acceptance testing will be done in quality system. So we know, I think, how we can transfer the request from one development server to quality system, right? So with the help of the transport management system, with the help of basis consultant, right? So then all the configuration is moved. Again, we have to make sure you know uh, the integration point of view system can able to perform the testings. So once everything's fine, right? So we are going to complete the user acceptance testing. So like in the while starting the project, the the BBP, right? So that is one of the milestone. So you cannot get the sign off easily from the business team. So that is one of the milestone. And second, there is a user acceptance testing. That is also same case. So whatever we discussed, whatever during the the show and tell session, right? So I missed out one thing, like there is a show and tell session. This show and tell session, what we do? So based on this your process, right? BPML process. So we are going to, right? So we are going to demonstrate the process. So we are going to demonstration the process to the customer, and customer will not agree. So whatever the standard process we says, so again they will say that there is a customizations. So as we discussed, there is a gap analysis, right? So again we need to make sure whatever the gap and everything we need to, so because the changes will be there. So we address, let's say I have a 30 objects we are going to design for our current project. So again during this you know so BBP sign off stage. So again, so they are going, so there is a changes will be there. So there is a keeps on, there is a kind of gap analysis will be there. So we need to address those things, right? So it's not easy. The customer is going to sign up the BBP, right? So same way that user acceptance testing also, and whatever initially we give a promise to the business team. So we need to make sure all your RICEF object also is ready. So if there is any kind of small mistakes, yes, we can able to with the help of technical team we can able to correct it. But if there is a big gap, right? If there is any big gaps or big the process or big development or customization we are not done, and but we are trying to explore, or we are trying to showcase the process, so customer will not agree, right? So then that's a big escalations will be there. So that is the reason the experienced consultant only they come to know, so they can understand. So how we can what all the customization, how we can able to design. Again, talk about the customization. As a consultant we need to prepare the functional specifications. That is one of the key deliverables. So whatever, let's say you have a 30 objects, all the 30 RICEF object you have to prepare the functional specifications. So we need to specify about the what all the tables, what all the fields, what all the structures we are going to use. right? And what are the logics we are going to design, what are the Z table or customized table we are going to create. So all the logic, everything you have to discuss, step number one. So what from table number one, what we need to fetch, and what is the input we have to get it. Same way, like step number 2, 3, 4, like we have to explain all the logic in the functional specifications, right? So based on that only the technical team, they are going to design your forms or either your reports or your enhancement or interfaces, right? Okay, so now the explore phase, yeah. So with the the testing, right? So once you completed all the test plans, so then the realization. So we are going to all the RICEF objects, definitely, right? So we already discussed what all the RICEF object about the functional specification. So again, there is a unit testing will be there. So as a EWM consultant, you have to make sure whether your forms is working fine or whether your report is working fine. So if there is any customization, there are keeps on changes will be there. So that is quite difficult, to give up. That's what mostly we are going to go for our SAP standard practices. We customized, so you have to very clearly how to design, and you have to do all the test cases. Otherwise, in front of customer, we will get so many errors, or maybe as per the expectation, we will not get the output. So, it's more important. So before you are going to showcase the customization parts, so we need to test all the cases, all the permutation combinations. We have to test it. Okay. So then there is a realization phase. So we are going to discuss about all the RICEF object. We are going to testing. So we are going to do the configuration. So core configuration document. So we are going to prepare it. So then we are going to do the authorization roles and assignments. So we need to make sure your quality system is ready, and you need to upload the rehearsal data. Okay, so we already share the master data template. So customer, from the client side. So customer also they share the the maybe 70, or we can say 50% of master data they shared. So now as a consultant, we need to upload this data into quality system. So we cannot create our own master data, or we cannot create our own supplier master, or we cannot create our own product master like that. So whatever they currently using, so this master data we need to upload in our quality system. So then only we can able to start do the UAT testings and all, right? So then we have to make sure your training material readiness. So then your cutover activities plan, right? So already we discussed about your cutover activities. So this is again more important. So for uploading your master data, so we need to already. So initially we have discussed your template is ready, and we had a session with your business team. So what all the fields is required. So we have to explain about the template, each and every fields, because they are new to SAP. So we have to explain about all the fields, what are the information, what are the mandatory information you have to fill, right? So all the once even after you received, also you have to do the validations, right? So you have to make sure your material code or your product group or whatever the specific KDS they have filled, right? So if they upload wrongly, then again it's a big mess up. So we need to validate after we receiving the master data. We have to do the validations. Then we have to through that your legacy system, we have to upload your all the master data. Okay. So once so the realization phase, yes, so we have completed. So then we'll go for the deployment phase. Okay. So here there is a final cutover plan, right? So now we are talking about the production systems. So initially we have the we address the list of BPML process, and we completed our business blueprint. We have the review, and we have completed sign off. So then we have all the kind of testing, right? So our individual module testing, process testings we have completed, and cross module business process has been tested with the cross module consultant. So finally the end user also have tested. So now what is the next? So now your quality system is perfect. So next we have to build your production system. So in the production system, yes, so we need to move all your configuration from your development system, which means the golden client. So we called. So all the configuration will be done. So we need to move to the production system, right? So we have to make sure whether all the configuration is gone, because initially you can't you done org structure, step number 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, like, so some of the TRE might be deleted. So if you see production system, some of the organization unit is moved, some of them is not moved. So that is again very critical actually. So these are all the the step by step org structure or the master data or any configuration or any kind of then the RICEF related objects, whether whatever the forms, because in production system we cannot test it, right? So we cannot create any transaction until there is a go live. So we need to very clear about that. That's what we have the quality system. So all the kind of testing, everything we have to finish in the quality system, right? So now in the production system there is a final cutover plan we have to execution. So already we have the master data. So here in quality system we execution with 50% of master data, but whereas in the production system, so we need to implement 100% of master data, right? So we need to make sure product wise or supplier wise or whatever so the numbers is more important. Even one record is missing is a big mess up. So we need to, as a consultant, we should be very clear about that, the master data point of view, the number of records, and whatever you have uploaded, whether in the table level you have to check, so how many records we have uploaded and how many records in our Excel records, both are is matching, right? Sometimes there is a duplications, maybe we cannot say okay, this will be the 25,000 records, you uploaded only for 24,999. So again it's very difficult, so which record is not uploaded. So these are all the kind of challenging will be there in the cutover activity phases, right? So we discussed about there is a pre-go live checks, right? So all the configurations we moved, all the customization we have moved. So we have to cross verify that your org structure point of view everything is moved properly. So most of the case what will happen? Yes, everything is ready, and when there is a go live, so the problem is your system will go for a dump. When they are trying to execute the transaction, system will go for the dump. So this all the activities happen. It will happen. So that is the reason we should be then we should not do the debugging in front of the big team in during the go live. So we have to, these are all the challenging issues. As a consultant we should very most important your production system is perfect, and you have to make sure your configurations, everything, all the transport requests you have moved. If some of the request is missing, so definitely you'll facing during the transactions or any kind of master data, definitely you'll face this kind of issues, right? So next we okay, once the deployment phase is completed, so then we are going for the run phases. Okay, so here there is a, so we are going to your go live, right? So your production system is ready, your business transaction also, all the user, they are going to posting the day to day business transaction in the production system, and your production system is ready, right? So now we have to follow. So there is a 1 month support, so they have agreement, yes, you have 3 months, mostly it's a 1 month support. Even more than 1 month, then there is a support team, they will take care. So if you are in an implementation consultant, so you'll switch over into next implementation projects, right? But if you are a support, I think you know, so if yeah, I think most of them they are joining. Sorry. Anyway, I'll share this demo session. I couldn't able to explain again from beginning, right? Yeah. So this run phase, so we are going to become successfully completed. So now we are going to give them production support, right? So we need to, so most so many issues will be there in the printout, so many issues will be there in enhancement, right? So some enhancement will be working, some enhancement will not be. So we need to, so these initial 1 days will be very tricky for the consultant, because we'll get per day we'll get 20-30 issues from production. So we need to with the help of technical consultant or as a EWM point of view, so we need to do the configuration, or we have to make sure all the kind of test cases we have to do. Then again we have to move the TR to the production system, right? Okay, so now what we have discussed here is a completely the activate methodology as a EWM consultant. So every line by line is the key deliverables as a EWM consultant. So we are going to deliver, and we are going to prepare the documentations wherever it's PowerPoint presentation, wherever the the PPT documents, or I mean Word document or Excel. So these documents is more important. So once you have done one implementation project, and this setup document is really going to helpful, right? Is really going to helpful for the next projects. So another issues what we will face, you will be working on one project, all five all the 5 consultant will be have their own 5 different type of templates. So these are all the issues will be happening, and some of them. So if you have one set of documents, because it's initially, right? So if you have a 10 years experience in EWM, doesn't matter. So we are starting our career, so we need these initial documents. So how this BBP we have designed, right? So most of the cases, 50% we are going to use the same process to be process, roles and authorizations. Everything is going to be same. There is a minor changes will be there. So you can use this same BBP also. So that is the reason. So this implementation project, right, and whatever we discussed about the key deliverables, about the cutover activity. So during the interview, they will be asking, you tell me what is the challenging role you have faced in your implementation projects, or tell me what is the cutover activities you have performed. So you explain about that. So tell me what are the how you have what are the business process you have implemented in your current project, in your previous projects. So as a consultant, so we should know. So simply, yes, I have done the project. So that is not going to helpful, during the interview point of view. So you talk about every deliverables, KDS, key data structure. So I will explain about all the deliverable document one by one. So whatever I have explained, so these deliverable will be done by EWM consultant. Okay. So without this, you cannot able to clear the technical round interview in the implementation projects. So this one complete end-to-end cycles, we have to execute. So I will just share the sample document here so that you will get some clear ideas. Okay. So as I told you, there is a yeah, so this is like the scope document. Okay, so this is one of the test cases of the scope document, which means, so what is the business process currently, the client which they have, right? So the high level they will explain. So we need to understand and we need to make sure based on this scope document. So we need to prepare for the deliverable document, right? As we explained about the BPML, as we explained about our, I'll show you the KDS. Then there is a functional specification or the business blueprint, right? So all these deliverable based on your scope document, right? So the scope document which contains so all your the business process. So here I will just explain about high level. There is a structure of the document. Then there is organization unit, right? So they will explain about what all the plant and what all the warehouse and what all the storage type, what all the storage section, right? So all the informations will be explained here, high level. So master data. So again, so they will be explaining about what are the type of material they are going to use it. So for that you have to define, it's a high level here. So you need to, explain in elaborately about the type or number, ranges and everything has to explain separately. And there is a supplier, right? So vendor, what all the type of vendor they have. So there is a high level they have explained here. So then there is a business process for the procurement. So what all the, the procurement point of view, what is the step-by-step process currently they have. So then what is the warehouse process, right? So they will explain with the flow diagram and everything. So you have to understand and you have to make sure, okay, these are all the process we are going to implement. So based on that, so we are going to prepare the fit gap analysis, right? So this is the base document. So based on that, we are going to prepare the fit gap analysis. As I told you, the PowerPoint presentation we have to present with the process, with the business flow diagram, with the roles and authorization. What is the role? Who is going to perform this transaction? What is the reporting requirements and what are the gaps? So this kind of scope document you have to prepare and you have to present to the customer. So once the scope is completed, then we have to prepare the business blueprint. Okay, so this is the scope document. Based on this, almost your blueprint also looks like same. But again, so if it is IBM, so they are going to follow for process definition documents. If you go with other, small scale company, they will go for business blueprint. Okay, there are two different type of the BBP. So what is process definition or process definition document, or what is the business BBP? So BBP means, so all the process they are compressed and they deliver in a single document. If it is the process design document or process definition document, they will call different name. So each process, right? Each process they will be explaining in a different documentations. For example, this is like your organization structure. So this is one of the deliverable documents. So this is one of the deliverable documents. So the complete the org structure they have explained about one of the deliverable document, right? So here you can see what all the high level the org structures here. So this is one of the deliverable documents. So then they will explain about let's say this is like your business partner. So this is one of the So this is one of the process design documents. So like that, if you have a 20 process or 30 process, so you need to design those many process design document you have to prepare. Okay. But anyhow, so just for your understanding, but end of the day, concept is, we are going to cover all the business process based on your scope. We have covered in your business blueprint, right? So this is one of the, we call it as a business blueprint or process design document, right? So we have to explain everything. So maybe I can share. Yeah, so they have explained about what is a 2B process. So they have explained about what are the KDS which they are going to use it. This is just a sample documents. Based on that, you need to prepare the document. Okay, you have to design your own business flow diagram. You have to design your own SAP 2B process and everything. Gaps and everything you have to be addressed here, right? And next one, there is a KDS document. Okay, so this is already we have discussed BPML. So we have a KDS document. Okay, so this KDS document, again, this is more important. So before you are going to start configuration, so your KDS key data structure, right? So what are the configuration which you are going to do, right? So this information should be ready in your, either it's a Word document or Excel format, it should be ready, right? So you should, tomorrow once you configure, you cannot delete it, right? So you have to make sure you are, the KDS point of view. Let's say it's your org structure. So so they have explained about the what is the purchase company code, what is the purchase organization, what are the plans, right? If it is what are the sales organization, distribution channels, so high level, and what are the storage locations. So they have explained about, based on the document type, what is the number ranges, and what are the business partner, what are the BP group, and what is the account group, what is the number ranges, whether the BP, customer and supplier is same or different. So everything we need to address. Org structure about, warehouse organization structure, storage bin. So this is sample I'm just giving. So like that, we need to prepare the complete KDS, and this KDS has to be reviewed, right? So then only you have to start doing the configuration your golden development systems. Okay. Okay. So finally, yes, this program, we are planning 45 days time, but definitely this will take minimum 2 months to complete the one end-to-end cycle of implementation projects. So after completion, as I told you, based on this activate methodology, all the deliverables end of the day you are going to deliver. So we are going to support in backend, and we are going to share the templates. Based on that, you are going to prepare all the deliverable documents. So this is really, because end of the day you are going to deliver. Okay, and in the implementation project, we can say 50% we can say 60% documentations will be there. So I think I explained initially, so you guys understood. So where this documentation start with your scope document or business, business process master list, right? So what are the business process? So these are all the deliverable document. There is a fit gap analysis. So you are going to give a fit gap. You have to give a presentation. I mean, in a PowerPoint presentation about each and every BPML process with the business flow diagram, with the roles, with the reports, right, with any kind of enhancement. So this kind of initially, that is what, implementation project 60% should be a documentations. So definitely this project will assist you, help you how to make the documentations, right? So once you've done one implementation project with the deliverable document across all the 100 projects, the same templates, right? Process might be different, right? Logic might be different. So end of the day, the template will be the same, right? So that is the reason. So we are going to make sure all the business process, all the key deliverable document will be delivered by as a in front of you guys going to deliver to the customer. Okay. So yeah. So next. Okay, so this is already explained about the period also, right? And next things, yeah. So along with that, okay. So we are talking about only the the implementation point of view, Okay, so then along with that, so we are going to provide the support tickets also, right? So minimum 20 to 30 support tickets will provide, and these support tickets also will helpful. Some of them they are working in a support project, so they know. So, but which people who are new to EWM, so how you can able to what kind of support tickets you will receive, so how you can able to respond, how you will give a solution, right? So these all the kind of the support related tickets will assist you to get the exposure in a support project also. Okay, so finally, so this implementation projects, you get a complete end-to-end implementation project exposure plus what support project exposure also will be there. Okay.
We will do the document and rest 40% we will be doing configuration, or how it would be?
Yeah, so configurations, deliverable documents, right? So as I told you, your scope document end of the day anyway, it's from the the PMO point of view, they will prepare the high level, and based on that you are going to prepare the BPML is one of the key deliverables, and there is a fit gap analysis, another deliverables. So then there is a business blueprint, so you have to deliver the business blueprint. So then there is a KDS. So then there is a functional specification, then there is a roles and authorization, there is a configuration document, there is a unit testing document, integration testing document, user manual document. So like that, finally you have to give the configuration document also to the business team. So as a configuration point of view, yes, you have to do the complete configuration, then you have to do the testing with other module, right? And you have to do the testing with the RICEF object. So these kind of activities will be there. That's what I told. 30-40% you will be doing the hands-on work. So rest of the case you have to prepare most of the deliverable. You have to prepare the type of deliverable documents as I explained.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Hi, Dinesh. This is Venkat here.
Yes.
Coming back to the same question, like, I just asked you in the mid of the session. Just to give a brief, okay, like, I have 22 years of experience, like, heading a department of IT and IT enabled services. Like, I have a team of consultants working under me. So, like, I have got like 3 EWM consultants, 2 MM consultants, I've got like 2 SD consultants, 1 PICO guy. So all are working under me. See, I just gave up my corporate career. The reason is that I wanted to get into the architect level. Okay. So what I am looking at from this is like, see, like, if you go to any training institute for anyone, like, they just cover the basics. Like, they will teach you how to drive a car. Okay, it can be a Maruti 800 or it can be anything. The rest of the things, like, you have to learn the more you get into a sophisticated car. Okay. But the main things what in the industry, like, what we look at is like, as a head of IT, like, I used to ask the consultants about the bodies, BAPIs, like, the integration models and all these things. So, like, what I am expecting is, I'm expecting a more focus on this area, like, how can you help in this?
Yeah, see, that is what I explained about the gaps. Okay, so these gaps, during the BBP point of view, you'll come to know all the, what all the gaps currently, which they have identified. Which, during the, so as I told you, there is a fit gap, right? Fit gap means.
No, that fit gap is basically like it's a responsibility of a BC, okay, of a business consultant, like, who prepares a document, and, like, he sits with the EWM consultant. Like, if it is a large organization, like my last experience, like, I had a business consultant, I had a EWM consultant, and, like, I was at the top of that. So I used to be part of the entire meetings because I was heading the MM and EWM module, plus I'm part of the steering committee and core committee. Okay, plus I'm a certified consultant as well, just to brief you. So, like, in technicality, like, working more on the bodies and BAPIs is what actually I'm just expecting, like, from you. Like, maybe I'm talking particularly about me, but yeah, since it's a common forum, so I'm asking you this question in this place. Or if you want, we can connect separately, and again we can discuss more on this.
Yeah, so definitely, yeah. So your point, I agree. So definitely that is separate. I will share you the list of, there is a gap analysis. Okay. So there is a type of, objects which you are going to design. So definitely we'll have connect a separate card. I will share you the list of objects which is really required. There is a customizations, right? So especially for there is a gaps or any kind of enhancement. So yes, So, see, some of the project is technical consultant, they will take care, but some of the project functional consultant, we will suggest is you go for this BAPI and you can able to do this kind of, you can design the, you can do the codings and all. Yes. So here first we have to identify what kind of gaps, we are going to, so during the project, definitely we are going to address what are the gaps, and finally how we are going to, because we are going to implement with technical consultant here. So what we can do, so we can address what are the type of RICEF objects we have. So how we are going to address. So those points definitely we can discuss. But the technical point of view, because here only functional consultant we are going to implement this project. So technically, so we are going to address. So how we are going to prepare the functional specification. So all the tables and everything we are going to give the training to them. So based on that, they will prepare the functional specifications. Yeah.
Okay. I think like I would be needing some more clarity. Maybe I'll connect with you separately so that. Sure.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
Yes, I agree. So here actually, so this functional specification, because along with the BBP, so we have to complete the functional specification, this functional specification. So that is, we will give a training. So we will explain, most of them, they are new how to execute the table, how to link the table to different tables and all. So we will provide this training, and so then you can prepare your own functional specifications. As I told you, we will understand what are the RICEF objects. Based on that, you have to prepare the functional specifications. Okay.
Yeah.
So definitely.
Okay. And so, as per my understanding from, because I joined late, so the first point is like the first as part of the section 1, you are not training the each and every subject, but you are running that you are giving some scope of the business requirement. You need to do that solution in the system, demo system. Right, that is the one part, and then second part is we need to you are providing the templates of the different phases.
Yeah. So here what happened, people who are new and understanding, because EWM is not a small module. So EWM is like equal to 2 to 3 logistics module. So because that is what I'm suggesting. So whoever is already completed training, so it's quite easy to deliver within this 2 months period. So who need a training, so maybe they not yet started any training, so better we can go for configuration training. So again, that is also will take minimum 2 months. So you cannot complete like other MM module or SD module, we can complete within 30 days, but this will take minimum 2 months again. So that is the reason we are telling whoever is new to EWM, so better first you complete your basic all the configurations, right? So then you come to projects, so then these are all the deliverables, these are all the challenging roles, right? So we are new, completely new to this kind of deliverables. So again, so that is the reason we are suggesting first go for training. Once you complete it, then this project will be quite, because we don't have 3 months or 6 months. Yes, you can do the training plus project, you can do that, but training period is 2 months, so we need to deliver within that particular time. So we need to good in configurations.
Yeah, Jamal, but I'm also real-time working consultant.
Kind of implementation project will be really helpful, and your profile also, and along with this implementation we are giving support related also. So it's very easy, you can update your CV as an implementation plus support project with a real exposure also, right? And whatever the interview questions they are going to ask you during this implementation, with that, as I told you, all the key deliverable, end of the day you are going to deliver 100%, you can deliver during the interview also. Okay. So thank you so much, guys, who joined for today demo sessions. So whoever need any assistance, please connect Jay. So she will assist you, and she will update you. So when I think some of them they joined, so I think there is a pre-project deliverable is going on. So this pre-project deliverable, I think, so 3 to 4 days will be there. So after that, they will start the project. So whoever is really interested, please be in connect with Jayalakshmi. So she will assist you. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Dhanush.
Yeah,
Have a
thank you
nice
so much.
weekend. Bye bye.
Yeah.